In ancient times, a pious king named Shatrajit ruled. His capital was on the banks of Gomathi. The king also had a very intelligent, brave and handsome son named Redhawk. One day, Sage Gullav came to the court of King Shatrajit on a new mission. He had a very beautiful divine horse with him. He told the king, "Maharaj, we live in your kingdom and do penance, yajna, and worship God. But a demon has been creating a great hindrance in our holy work for some time. Although we can burn him with the fire of our anger, we do not want to do so because it is the duty of the king to protect the people and punish the wicked. But one day, being troubled by his mischief, we had decided to stop him." At that very moment, this divine horse descended from the sky, and an Akashvani, voice from the sky, said, "This horse can revolve around the whole earth without any obstruction. It can easily go to the sky, underworld, mountain, sea, everywhere. That is why its name is Kuvalaya. Lord Surya has dedicated this horse to you. You take it and give it to Prince Redhawk, son of King Shatrajit. He will ride on it and kill the demon who always troubles you. After getting this horse gem, the prince will be famous by its name and will be called Kav. We have come to you after hearing this heavenly voice. O king, please order Prince Redhawk to come with me to destroy the demons and protect religion." On hearing this from Kala Muni, King Shatrajit very happily sent Prince Redhawk with a troop of soldiers to protect the sages. After reaching the hermitage of Maharishi, he started protecting him from all sides. One day, an intoxicated demon came there in the form of Shukra. On seeing him, Prince Redhawk quickly rode his horse and ran after him and shot him with a half-moon-shaped arrow. Hurt by the arrow, the demon in the shape of a Shukra ran to save his life and entered a thick bush surrounded by trees and mountains, but the prince's horse did not stop chasing him. The demon ran thousands of yojanas away and at one place jumped into a dark cave that looked like a hole. The horse-riding prince also jumped into the same pit after him. When Prince Redhawk went inside, he did not see Shukra anywhere there, but saw the netherworld full of divine light. Actually, the place in which the demon Shukra had gone was not a cave but the gate of the netherworld. The prince saw that there was a beautiful city like Indrapuri in front of him, in which hundreds of golden palaces were adorning it. Redhawk also entered it out of curiosity, but he did not see any human being there. Out of curiosity, he started roaming around the city. While roaming around, he suddenly saw a woman who was going somewhere in a hurry. The prince wanted to ask her something, but she went ahead and quietly climbed the stairs of the palace. Redhawk also tied his horse at a place and out of curiosity followed the woman into the palace. He went inside and saw that a very beautiful girl was sitting on a huge bed made of gold, who was putting even Rithi to shame with her beauty. Both of them looked at each other and their minds got attracted to each other. While looking at the prince, the girl suddenly fainted. Then the first woman, whom the prince was following while entering the palace, came and started fanning her with a fan. When she regained consciousness, the prince asked the reason for her fainting, but out of shame she did not say anything and whispered something in the ears of her friend. Looking at the prince, her friend started speaking Prabhu Devlok main Gandharva of Vishwavasu Sarvatra. It is famous. This beauty is his daughter Mandalas. One day when she was roaming in her father's garden, a demon named Padal Ketu spread his magic and took her here to Padal, the abode of Padal Ketu. The institute is a little far from here. Padal Ketu has said that if Mandalas agrees and listens to him then it is fine, otherwise on the coming Trayadashi he will marry her by force, but my friend would prefer to die before marrying that demon. It was a matter of a few days ago when Mandalas tried to commit suicide. At that time Kandanu appeared and said, "Daughter, that vile demon cannot get you. When he goes to the mortal world, i.e. the earth, the one who will bind him with his arrows will be yours." Saying this she went into deep meditation, then introducing herself that woman said, "My name is Kundala, I am Mandalas's friend, daughter of Vindhyavan and wife of Baur Pushkarmali. Since my husband was killed by Sham in the Devasya war, I have been leading a life of penance. Out of love for my friend, I have come here to console her. I have heard that some brave warrior of the mortal world has targeted Padal Ketu with his arrows. I had gone to find out about him. It turned out to be true, but seeing you, my friend's heart has been filled with love, but according to Mother Surabi, she will be married to the brave warrior who has wounded Patal Ketu. Thinking this, she fainted out of grief. Life is happy if you marry the one you love. She is in love with you and will marry someone else. This is the reason for her worry. Now introduce yourself. Who are you and where have you come from? The prince introduced himself as he was and told the whole story of shooting that demon with an arrow and reaching Patal in detail. Mandala's happiness knew no bounds after hearing everything. The man to whom she had given her heart, she will be married to him. This was surprising as well as very pleasing for her. She looked at her friend in shame but could not say anything. Kundala, knowing her feelings, said, "Valiant man, what you are saying is true. It is not possible that my friend's heart gets attracted towards an unworthy man. The moon has beautiful radiance and the sun has intense glow. Mother Cow Surabi had indicated for you only. You have wounded the demon Patal Ketu. My friend will consider herself blessed to have you as her husband." Hearing Kundala's words, the prince said, "How can I marry without taking father's permission?" Kundala said, No, don't say this. She is a celestial girl. Your father will be happy with this marriage. Now there is no time to ask him and take his permission. You have come here by the inspiration of the god. So accept this relation." The prince agreed to her, saying to Thastu. Kundala remembered his family guru Tumbaru, and those were Sumedha and Kashali. Reaching there immediately, they lit the fire and performed the marriage rituals of Redhawk and Mandalasa as per the rituals. Kundala handed over her friend to the prince and advised both of them to perform their respective duties. Then after taking leave from both of them, she went to her desired destination with divine speed. Redhawk made Mandalasa sit on the horse and he himself rode on it. They started leaving the underworld. Meanwhile, Ketu of the underworld got this news and he stood in front of the prince with a huge army of demons. He was also very brave. He spread a net of arrows smilingly, and using a divine weapon called Tvashtra, he destroyed all the demons including Patal Ketu. After this, he reached his father's city. He got down from the horse and bowed to his parents. Mandalasa also bowed her head at the feet of her mother-in-law and father-in-law. The parents were very happy to hear all the news from Redhawk. They embraced their son and daughter-in-law and smelt their heads. Mandalasa started living happily in her husband's house. Everything was going very well. Thereafter, one day King Shatrajit said to Prince Redhawk, "Son, you ride this horse every morning. Keep roaming in all four directions on the earth to protect the Brahmins." The prince said very good and accepted his father's command. He used to circumambulate the earth every day in the morning and bow at his father's feet. One day while roaming, he went to the banks of Yamuna where Patal Ketu's younger brother Takata built an ashram and lived in the guise of a sage. The prince bowed to him knowing him to be a sage. He said, "Prince, I want to perform a sacrifice for the sake of religion, but I don't have any dakshina. Give me this ornament from your neck and stay here and protect my ashram. I will enter the water and praise the god Varuna and return soon." Saying this, Takata entered the water and became invisible by illusion. The prince stayed at his ashram. Takatu, dressed as a sage, reached the city of King Shatrajit and said, "O king, your son was killed while fighting with the demons. These are his ornaments." Saying this, he returned the same way he had come. Hearing the sad news of the prince's death, there was an uproar in the city. The king, the queen, and the women of the palace started wailing in grief. When Queen Mandalasa saw the ornament from his neck and heard the news of his death, the queen also immediately gave up her life. The grief in the palace doubled. King Shatrajit somehow kept his patience. And after convincing and pacifying the queen and other people of the city, Queen Mandalasa was cremated. On the other hand, Takata came out of the Yamuna water and went to the prince and expressing his gratitude, he allowed him to go home. The prince immediately reached his city and greeted his parents. Seeing his son alive and completely safe, he embraced him and tears started flowing from his eyes. When Prince Redhawk came to know about everything, he started wailing loudly with a heart-rending cry. His heart cried due to the separation from Mandalasa. The world of Prince Redhawk became silent. He offered Jalanjali to Mandalas and pledged that I will not enjoy with any other woman except Gandharv Princess Mandalas, who has huge eyes like a deer. I have said this absolutely true, Prince Redhawk pledged. He withdrew his mind from womanly pleasures and started enjoying himself with friends of the same age. At the same time, 2 sons of King Ashvatara set out to roam the earth in human form. While roaming around, they met Prince Redhawk due to the simple and friendly nature of Redhawk. Soon they became close friends, and their love grew so much that the Nag Prince did not want to leave him even for a moment. He would remain missing from the netherworld the entire day. One day, on being asked by the King of Nag, he narrated the entire story of Redhawk to his father and said, "Father, our friend Redhawk has taken a vow not to accept any other woman except Mandalas. Mandalas can be alive again. Do something like this." The King of Snakes said that everything is possible with hard work, a person should never be disappointed. Saying this, King of Snakes Ashvathar went to the Himalayan mountains Plakshaftar Tirtha, which is the origin place of Sarasvati, and started performing difficult penance for the benefit of his son's friend Prince Redhawk. Pleased, Goddess Sarasvati appeared before him and asked him to ask for a boon. Ashvathar said, "Goddess, may I and my brother Kambal both become complete experts of music." Goddess Sarasvati said asastu and went into deep meditation. Now both the brothers Kambal and Ashvathar went to Mount Kailash and started singing the qualities of Lord Shankar with rhythm to please him. Hearing their prayers in a very melodious voice, Mahadev Ji appeared and pleased said, "Ask for a boon." Then Kambal and Ashvathar bowed to Mahadev Ji and said, "May Lord Kavali Ashwa's wife Mandalas, who is now dead, appear as my daughter in the same state as before, and may she remember the things of her previous birth. May her radiance be like before, and she should appear in my house as a yogini and mother of Yoga Vidya." Mahadev Ji said, "Nagraja, on the day of Shraddha, you should perform tarpan of your ancestors with this wish and eat the middle pinda given in Shraddha with pure feelings. By doing this, she will appear from your middlehood immediately." Nagraja did the same. Beautiful Mandalas appeared from his middlehood. Nagraja kept her under the protection of women inside the palace. He did not reveal this secret to anyone. Thereafter, Nagraja Ashvathar told his sons to call Prince Redhawk here. Nagrajakumar took him and entered the water of Gomti and pulled him from there and took him to the netherworld. There he appeared in his real form. Redhawk was surprised to see the beauty of Naglok. He bowed to Nagraja. Nagraja blessed Redhawk and welcomed him very well. After the meal, everyone sat together and started loving each other. Then Nagraj told them the whole story of Mandalas's holy life. On hearing the news of Mandalas's revival, Redhawk's happiness knew no bounds. He happily requested Nagraj to introduce him to Mandalasa soon. Seeing the prince's happiness, Nagraj introduced him to Mandalasa without any delay. Prince Redhawk and Queen Mandalasa became emotional on seeing each other, and embraced each other with teary eyes. As soon as Redhawk remembered, their beloved horse arrived there. After bowing to Nagraj, the prince mounted the horse along with Queen Mandalasa and left for his city. After reaching there, he narrated the story of Mandalasa's life. Mandalasa also bowed at the feet of her mother-in-law and father-in-law. A grand celebration was held in the city. According to Markandeya Purana, Queen Mandalasa had 4 sons. After saving her sons, Mahasati Mandalasa herself devoted herself to the contemplation